dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Good morning, grade 7. It's teacher Walter. I would like to take you through the revision of our English lesson here in preparation to the coming end term exam, of which it will also be the end year exam. So there are some areas here that I'm going to let you go through them so that you can prepare very well for the exam. So as you can see, I've said it's revision. So after I tried to summarize it a little bit. So here there are some areas that I want you to check, and the first area is comprehension. And comprehension, we are going to have 10 questions, and each question will be 2 marks. So that one will give us a total of 20 marks. So what are you going to do in comprehension? Comprehension is simply a story that you're given, you read, you understand the story, and then you answer the questions. So these are the procedure that you're going to use when you're answering those questions. 1, read the story. After that, go through the questions. Don't answer them, just go through the questions. After reading the story, go through the questions. Then after going through the question, go back to the story, read as you figure out the answers to the question that you've read. After reading the second time, then now go back now to the questions and start answering them. But also, you can also go back to the story in case you want to confirm something from that story. From that story, you want to confirm something for the question maybe that you've read. So you read the story, go through the story, then go through the questions, go back to the story as you figure out the answers, then come back and answer the questions. So we'll also have another part where we have another part will be language pattern, vocabularies, and grammar. And here we are going to have a total of 30 questions, each question having 60 marks. And this is now what we expect. Under this, we expect to have things like punctuation marks, speech marks, use of commas, question marks. Of course, you know how to punctuate, and of course, I've given the page there. We have also parts of speech. We learned at this part of speech, talk of nouns, verbs, prepositions, conjunction, interjections. We have all of them, and you can go through them. We have the page there. We have question tags. Remember, students, we learned about question tag. Remember, a statement, a negative statement taking a positive question tag, and a positive statement taking a negative question tag. We learned them. You can go through on page 17. We have different tenses. It will be there. Linking words. Of course, we learned about conjunction, which is also part of the speech. We have that one will be on page 11. We have regular and irregular verbs. We learned all these things. So make sure you go through them. Order of adjectives, of course, you know that order. Opinion, size, shape, age, color, origin, material, purpose. This work was on page 13 and page 32. Go through that work. Suffix, of course, look at an example there. Buy, buyer. They are found on that page. Vocabularies on some, and these vocabularies will be on some stories that we've read, the combination that we've been reading all through in our textbooks. That's where we'll find some of these new words. You find after reading a story, after answering the question, there's somewhere written word power. So you find those word power are some of the vocabularies that will be that I will be examining. We have direct and indirect speech. We have that on page 142. Of course, we have also pronunciation. But here, I'm not meaning that I will ask you to pronounce a given word. No, you can be given a group of words as a pair of words, like these 2 words here, got and caught. Maybe you are told to use them in a given sentence. These 2 words here, you know, they mean differently, but the pronunciation also is a little bit different. So I'm not saying that I will ask you how to pronounce, but I will ask you how to use such words in your exam, and they are found on that page. Moving forward, we will also have what you call the true and false questions. Of course, you've been seeing these questions here, and we'll have a total of 5 questions, adding up to 10 marks. And this one here, it will cut across all tenses, proverbs, idioms, similes, language pattern, and so forth. This one will cut across, and also it will also talk about some facts the one that you know and the one that you don't, the one that are true. So like for example here, the teacher is teaching. So the word teacher is a noun. Is it true or false? So you said here is true. So you expect also such questions. Now, we have the last part will be filling in the blank spaces, be filling in the blanks. Of course, I'll give you a question and then it has a blank space. You'll be forced to type there and type there the answer. So there will be around 5 questions and each question is 2 marks, so adding up to 10 marks. So I will expect short and straight answers for this. Short answer. So remember to follow the punctuation rules. Where capital letters are supposed to be used, where small letters are supposed to be used. So you have to know, because if you mess with one, then you get that question wrong. So what I'm saying here, these are some of the areas that I want you to note that you are supposed to revise. Those are some of the areas. We have grammar there, we have use of, until, when, and so for those words here. Proper nouns. Those are some of the areas that I want you to go through. Of course, I've also stated the page where they are found. You see, I've stated all the pages where they are found. So go through those areas. So check and see which area, but these areas are the one that I'm going to examine on. This area, I'll still have others. These are the areas that I'm going to examine on. I also have these other areas here. We have these ones. These are some of the areas that that the exam is going to come from. So just check. You just check and see. These are the areas that you expect your exam to come from. Of course, I've written like, look, use of who, whose, where, when, which, that, and is found where? On page 82. So you can go through these ones, these areas, plus the pages that I've stated. So that's where the exam, I will be examining in those areas. So in summary, this is what I'm saying. In summary, I'm saying this. Your paper will consist of the following. The first part will be comprehension. You read the story, then you add that story, the questions in that story. There will be 10 questions, and each question 2 marks. So you will have a total of 20 marks. So 10 questions, 20 marks. The second part will be language pattern, vocabulary, and grammar. So it will consist of 30 questions, and that one will give you 60 marks. Then the third thing will be true and false questions. Of course, I've told you that one, how you can be able to answer that one, and it will be around 5 questions, and it will give you 10 marks. The other part will be filling in blanks, 5 questions, and those 5 questions will give you 10 marks. So meaning 1 question, 2 marks. So these are the areas that I'm going to examine. These are the areas. So that one will give us a total of 50 questions, and those 50 questions, each question is 2 marks, now giving us a total of 100 marks. So as you go through, these are the areas that you view. These are the different sections that you will find in your exam. So I want to wish you well. So make sure that you revise on those areas that I have stated, and make sure that you do your best. Remember, my exam is so easy to those on who revise. If you don't revise, then don't expect it to be that easy. Remember to revise. Thank you for having me, and have a good day.